on top of the stool. Visions of the new coup. My niggas wild like the Bronx Zoo. Cock it back, ready to shoot. Chasing the bag, sipping absolute. I'm living proof, my structure standing on business. Like a roof, cold shoulder, 40s fake niggas. Hit you with the toaster, style slick and vulgar. I'm a chess player, niggas playing checkers. I'm going hard. Yeah, the flow records, off with your head and your necklace. Murder your camp, just to get my message across. MFB boss, to my last stage, puffin' haze, nigga, yeah.
Yo, peace and blessings, family. You already know what it is. It's the Rap God, A-Dub, here with another, the #1 leading, the realest podcast of touching areas that really need to be touched. Highly explosive. We are on episode 8 and 9 because this is a double banger. This right here is called Sleeping Gods. You feel me? This is basically a response video to shout out to I Am Conjure Queen on YouTube. She really killed it. Attached. It's like basically I'm featuring her on this podcast. Shout out to her. Go follow her because she's really dropping a lot of science that need to be, you know what I'm saying, conducted and really just need to be expressed out here. You know, a lot of people don't realize the powers that they have because they're not activated. They don't even know that they're gods, you know what I'm saying? Due to the fact of religion and different things of that nature that will basically tell you that that's blasphemous. You dig what I'm saying? That, you know, worshiping something outside of yourself and waiting for something else to come save you is, of course, more easier than taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying? In ancient Kemet, which ancient Kemet is, you know what I'm saying, what the original, the hieroglyphics, everything, the civilization, the first civilization of man, where we wasn't, the Romans came in and like, you know, influenced and took over everything that we did and took all of our files and different things and led us into the slavery, the bondage that we in right now. You know what I'm saying? With our birth certificate, social security, our birthright, our nationalities being switched to black, which we the original man. We natives. The natives that you see are not the real natives. We are the natives. The natives look just like me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting a little off topic right now, but it's never off topic because it's all synchronized. So in this video, as you can see, she was talking about incarnated gods. You dig what I'm saying? Like basically the black sheep, the healers, the God of gods, you know what I'm saying, in the flesh. You know, Jesus walking here, not looking at something outside of yourself, but understanding that all of those, the Bible, the Quran, everything, the Torah, all of this is so that you could tap into the wisdom and the knowledge of our ancestors that came, which was real people, spirits in a physical body. You dig what I'm saying? And like she was saying, just for us to make it and still be on this wave and studying our ancestors, we are the chosen ones, the ones that is not following a religion, the ones that basically understands that the people to be, the powers to be is against us. You dig what I'm saying? Everything that you actually look at and say that's right, it's wrong. And everything that you think is wrong is right. They reverse everything. It's a thing that they say that everything is backwards. And when you start to study and go down that rabbit's hole, you start to see that everything is backwards. We was lied to. So that's the first step, is to open your chakra. You know what I'm saying? Rise up your chakras into the non-ether. You dig me? 7 ether, God body. You dig what I'm saying? God within the body. And rise above and then open up your pineal gland, and then you're going to be able to see on a daily basis. Not only this, when you start looking at my videos and some of the people that, you know, red pill, blue pill, you know what I'm saying? Bobby Hemmett, like, you know, different, Malachi York, Dr. Sebi, you know, the list goes on. Then you're gonna, the algorithms is gonna start feeding you more of this knowledge. That's how it happened. It just becomes like a pool of knowledge. You dig what I'm saying? But what it is we're here for a bigger cause than money, cash, holes. You know what I'm saying? Cars, and everything and materialistic shit. You know what I'm saying? We are here for a divine purpose, a divine mission, something that is like what you could consider God's work. That's what I call it. You know what I'm saying? Like I make music, you know what I'm saying? We could go viral doing God's work. We don't have to do the devil's work to go viral because there's so much people that need knowledge when they zoom in, and then you get in your streams, you putting out good music, music that heals the soul instead of damaging the soul. You dig what I'm saying? Putting out food, putting out businesses that just because McDonald's did it don't mean you got to open up a fast food. You could come up with a healthy restaurant. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All natural, organic. You dig what I'm saying? We need that. We got to regulate the land. We got to get our land back. We got to regulate the food. We got to regulate everything, the system, what's being taught, everything. The police, the government, everything has to be regulated. That's why we're going through a cleanse right now. You dig what I'm saying? But back to the topic. Yeah. Okay. Sleeping gods, what does that mean? Like, we are gods, period. Whether you know it or not, whether you confirm it, one must confirm it, because as a man thinketh it shall be. Even back in Kemet, you couldn't even go into the schools, as she was saying, if you didn't know thyself. That's number one. Know thyself. Knowledge of self. Ye are gods, period. You dig what I'm saying? So a reaction and a counter reaction to you are the chosen ones. Focus on awakening consciousness and breaking generational cycles and reclaiming divine agency within self, not through external authority. Sleeping gods, awakening and breaking generational curses. The generational curses that I just said. You have to study what are generational curses that affected you, your family, your bloodline. How can you break that? How could you not let your kids go through these cycles? You dig what I'm saying? So humanity, especially those who grew up as calling the black sheep, that probably didn't want to follow certain religious behaviors and jargon and dogma, you know what I'm saying? They're considered the broken ones, the cursed ones, the laws, that, but come to find out, it's the other ones that are following, that are sheep, that are following blindly. And when you're following somebody blindly, if you're following the devil and you're working every day for his system to build him and his market, he will never be debunked. He'll never be, because you're sitting there promoting him. You're sitting there working for him while saying, this is what I have to do to feed my family. On the contrary, I don't think God agrees. You dig what I'm saying? Consciousness is embodied in our human form. We have to break these patterns, break these lies, you know what I'm saying? Expose them. This is why they saying that AI is going to be the demise, but no, on the contrary, AI is going to bring to the truth. AI is going to wake the masses up. The internet is going to wake the masses up. Everybody's trying to look at the negative, but you got to look at the positive. Before, they didn't even want you to read. They would hang you just for reading or practicing our spirituality, our true spirituality. Like that, shout out to the Haitians when they actually won those wars, when they was in their physical power. We have to tap back to that. They made us believe that, when we saying that we are gods, or we practicing our real true divine spirituality, our African roots. Shout out to the 7 African gods. They saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Obatala, Yimaya, Shango, Ogun, all of the 7 African gods. You dig what I'm saying? Each one of them is representing certain powers and entities, and they're tapping in to actually come back and help you in the physical form. Because even if you say Allah, Jesus, that's the big homie. That's the big top of the top. He don't got time to handle all your needs and everything. So it's like those are his entities that can handle specific things and get it done for you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, look into that, because that's serious. I got some music coming out, you know what I'm saying, and blogs and everything talking about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm A Thug, the Rap God. Go check out my album, Rap God, Underground King. Those are the latest projects, From My Heart to Yours. Check out the I Love Africa documentary. You dig what I'm saying? So those are just projects that I travel the world. I do documentaries. I do my thing. You dig what I'm saying? Showing y'all the world, from Panama, Puerto Rico, DR, to Senegal, to the United States, all over the United States, and it don't stop. You dig what I'm saying? We at 9 minutes right now. Most people are taught to wait for heaven after death. Few are taught how to create the heaven within their lifetime. This is not accidental. Many of us grow up labeled as the black sheep, the ones who are told that are asking too many questions. We don't fit into the system, who are called crazy, rebellious, or lost. In reality, those are the God's chosen ones. Every family, every bloodline, every culture produces individuals who are born to break cycles, those who are outweighed generational trauma, not because they are weak, but because they are actually strong. Breaking the generational curses doesn't require ritual or superstition. It requires awareness. The curse is a pattern. The curse is blind obedience. The curse is repeating pain. And that's how it's always been. When you see the patterns, the curse loses its power. Bottom line, religion and external authority. The most damaging ideas passed down through generations is the belief that divinity exists outside of yourself, somewhere unreachable, waiting to judge you and reward you later. This belief removes responsibility and power from the individual. When people are taught to worship externally, they are less likely to cultivate externally. When right is called wrong and wrong is called right, confusion becomes control. I'm going to stop that right there. And like I said, this is a 2-part series. We already 10 minutes, and her video is about 9 minutes that I broke up. It's going to be me talking for 10 minutes and her talking for 10 minutes. So it's going to be two 20 minutes or 40-minute segment. So I'm trying to keep it in sync. So I'm going to save the rest and the best for last. Peace.
Did you know that there's thousands of people who are incarnated gods that don't even realize it? Peace family, Conjure Queen here. In this video, we are going to be talking about the signs that you are an incarnated God, the signs that you have a higher purpose and being than just an average human. So in this video, we're going to talk about why you are divinely chosen. And these are all of the signs. Now listen, family, as somebody who has always felt like an outcast as a black sheep, okay, you probably can resonate with this video. What I notice is that a lot of people tend to err on the side of being the loner, being the misfit or the rebel, right? The black sheep of the family. I noticed that this is a common theme with people who tend to be the healer, the shaman, the god or the goddess in their family. These are the ones who come to break the generational curses. These are the ones who think differently, who question the paradigm of things, who looks around the world and says, you know what? I don't like this system and I want to do something about it. You don't just talk about it, you're about action. And that's what sets you apart from everybody else. And not only that, but if you paid attention, you have certain powers and certain skills and abilities that maybe you forgot about. But in this video, we're going to talk about them, and this video may wake up some sleeping memories and dormant DNA that you totally probably forgot about. Now, sign number 1, I noticed that a lot of people who are chosen ones, those who are divinely guided, anointed, those who are incarnated gods and goddesses, they tend to have very difficult childhoods, or something very significant happened in your childhood that made you different or that changed you forever. Sometimes they tend to go through a very traumatic experience, okay? And this is called your initiation. Everybody is different. Some people may go through it in their childhood. Some people are known to mostly go through it in their adolescence, when their sexual power is starting to awaken and who they are, their identity starts to crystallize as they're finding their identity and purpose separate from their family, their peers, and the system that they have been brought into. Okay, so what happens is your whole entire childhood or your early upbringing, you may feel like different from your siblings, from your cousins, from your family, from your parents and your caretakers. You can just sense the energy that makes you just stand alone and stand different from them. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's always been inside of you, this knowing that you come here to do a certain purpose. So you know that you're different from everybody else, which leads to our second point, which is 2. Sign 2 is you come into this world with a mission. You come knowing that you came to do great things. You subconsciously know that you are not meant to work an average job. You're not meant to just be an average person to fit into this average lifestyle, an average relationship, an average family. You came into this world wanting more, wanting to learn more, asking questions, questioning your spiritual practices, questioning your family dynamics, questioning the toxic ways and behaviors that just doesn't seem right to you. And even though you may have had a lot of pushback, right? You were the scapegoat of your family. Maybe everybody targeted you because you were the only one that was speaking up saying, hey, this isn't right. Hey, this is unhealthy. Hey, we should actually heal and work through this. And sometimes it can be so difficult when you are in your power of awakening. You're coming into consciousness. You're realizing that the world is a matrix. You're starting to come online. Your powers are activating. And so now things that you weren't able to see, your mind and your eyes are open. So you're seeing them now. Okay, you're becoming more aware of it now. And it starts to break your heart because you want to pull the people around you in, but you start noticing that people that you grew up with is starting to say you're different now, right? As you grow into your consciousness, as you elevate more into your godlike power, you may have noticed growing up that you got a lot of evil eye, a lot of envy from your peers, from your coworkers. And you know what? It's not even like you're bragging or boasting. It's the energy that you resonate. It's the energy that you exude. You don't even have to try. It's the way that you carry yourself. It's the way that you walk. It's the way that you talk. It's a vibe that you carry that nobody can replicate. They may try to copy you, but they can't do it right. Come on. You've seen people try to emulate your style, emulate your swag, probably even do exactly what you're doing. I have several people who have tried to copy my content, do exactly what I say word for word, and they fail miserably. Why? Because they don't have the secret sauce. I am the sauce. You are the source, right? Nobody can take the juice that you have inside of you because there's only one you. Spirit have given this divine acolyte, this divine mission to you because you are able to handle it. We've heard that saying, God doesn't give us problems we can't handle. Spirit doesn't give us challenges we can't overcome. Right? The fact that you're given all of these obstacles and you had such a hard childhood and you had to grow up fast, it was because you had to go through your spiritual initiation because God knew and Spirit knew that your life was not going to be easy. So you could not have an easy upbringing. You had to be toughened up early. You had to grow thick skin early. You had to understand the human condition early. You had to learn about how humans could be so dark, their psychology could be so twisted. And you had to learn how to maneuver in this twisted reality in order to become your godlike self. Because let's be honest here, Earth is ghetto, okay? If life is like a video game, then Earth is like the super hardest level that you could possibly do. And the fact that you came here says a lot about your spiritual evolution, your spiritual growth, your spiritual evolution. I'm telling you right now, family, when you come to Earth, you already know your mission. You come here like, listen, I know I ain't come here to do this basic stuff. I'm on a mission. There's people who have told me they woke up into consciousness at 5 years old. They woke up into consciousness some as young as 3. Okay, I had my first spiritual experience that I could remember when I was 3 years old. Everybody is different. Everybody started asking questions at a different time. But what matters, what tends to be the main theme is we have this hunger, right? You have this hunger for knowledge. You want to know more. This is going into the third segment where you have this curiosity for life. You want to learn about life and nature. You want to learn different languages. You want to learn about different cultures. You want to learn and understand the system. You want to learn science. You want to learn history. You want to learn not just what they're teaching you in school, but your learning in academic studies doesn't stop just in school. You're still studying and learning about yourself. You're learning about the lies that they've been telling us. You're deprogramming and reprogramming your mind. Okay, you're a scholar of life, consistently learning. Because in this particular path, as a goddess, as a god, right, you got to understand that you are the generator, operator, and destroyer of your reality. That is what a god is. And once you step into your godlike power and you are activated by doing these rituals, right? And if you're interested in learning how to activate your godlike power and learn about the rituals, I actually talk about this a lot in my community, family. So if you're interested in learning more and joining our community, I'll put the links below. Now, there's certain rituals that you can do to activate your your godlike power, because the power is already within you. Sometimes we have to do certain modalities to turn it on. Some people need a little bit of assistance to turn these gifts and powers on, because let's be honest, when you're going through hard times and you're going through tough upbringing, when you have these spiritual gifts and abilities, right? And we're going to go into the next segment. That's another sign that you're chosen, having spiritual gifts and abilities, okay? That's beyond human understanding. When you have these gifts and abilities, you got to understand, family, that there will be powers that will try to stop you from using them. If you come up in a religious family like mine, if you have spiritual gifts and you can see the future, if you're able to see spirits, they're going to tell you you're demonic, you're evil, that's the devil. They might beat it out of you with a belt. So what is that? That is traumatizing. You're going to be like, you know what? I know not to talk none of this spiritual stuff, because if I do, that belt is waiting for me. So you subconsciously shut down your psychic senses and your powers for years, and you not realizing that that stifled your growth. That's the reason why you feel like something is missing in your life. That's the reason why you can't find fulfilling relationships, because you haven't even fulfilled the relationship with yourself. You have to get right with you. You have to know who you are. That's why in the ancient mystery schools in Egypt, above the door, you couldn't even go into the school until you knew who you were. Know thyself was above the